The following is a systemic broadcast from Televoid 816 on behalf of the Lesperian race. Please set your mortals in front of the learning screen.
On Saturday night, I was in the basement when the house shook. I went outside and I looked. I thought it was another day, and I realized it was base. Thought it was another day, and I realized it was base. Thought it was an earthquake, and I realized it was base.
Enough to rattle an entire house.
Thought it was an earthquake, and I realized it was base. Thought it was an earthquake, and I realized it was base.
It did make my windows move a little bit.
This is a transmission to Zixx Phunkee Z. If you can hear us, then I'm about to tell you about the infinite loops. See, Yggdrasil has been damaged and I'm not allowed to divulge when, how, and why. All I can say is that you're going to repeat your lifetime, time and time again.
The second thing you'll notice is that it's not always going to be the same thing. There could be universe fusion, kooky variants, even a guest or two could turn up in your baseline.
And 3, there will be times where you visit a universe similar to our handy little hub, the place where admins archive the universes. For example, let me talk to you about a man by the name of Jeffrey Hirschfield.
Jeffrey Hirschfield, in essence, was used to archive 2 specific universes that are dormant as of this recording. Yours, as the taping hadn't made it obvious already, and an obscure sci-fi show on Showtime called Lex. Produced by one half of DHX Media, it features a spaceship and its crew searching far and wide for a new planet to call home or something. I guess it's worth an episode or 2 if you're in the mood for some Firefly.
Right after its end in 2001 after 4 seasons, Hirschfield will be back at it again with a new show with a more child-friendly premise of an alien invasion, and the kick-ass heroine working to dismantle it before things go further into the Deep South. That's where you come in, Agent Zixx Phunkee Z.
Released in 2004 for YTV up in its homeland in Canada, the show features CG animation for the inner keep that you tend to traverse through with assistance from several Earthlings you have encountered throughout its 3 distinct levels, all to destroy the alien conqueror Algoron and upend his various forces.
I'm here to walk you through episode number 1. Belts up, madam. We're about to land.
We open on a curious old man rummaging for food when he gets assaulted by globalism.
I don't have it. I don't have nothing. And let's use one in this.
Don't you realize that these zombified soldiers are unable to compromise or debate or do anything intelligent?
Hobo Mr. Coriander gets cornered when help arrives in, well, you.
Don't make this any harder on yourselves than you have to, boys.
Can the chatter? Let's vaporize them.
Impulsive much? Flanco, be thankful that you're probably going to end up soulbound by the loop's coding.
The 2 clansmen rush to the engine room and vert their molecules out of there.
A portal? I can't believe it. We found a portal at last. Now I can finally ditch this pack.
Now comes the time to introduce the true star of the show, the Keep.
A trans-dimensional antimatter field engineered by the old Ganth race that founded your happy little network. The Keep's atmosphere was archived by Elliott Digital using an obscure game engine called Lithtech to create the animation. The first time a game engine was used exclusively for TV animation. It's clunky, sure, the henshin sequences certainly showed that to be true, but that clunkiness comes when engines are at the PS2 level of rendering power. Future co-producers at Rainmaker would naturally use Unreal like the rest of us for the upcoming expansion to the mainframe loops, Reboot the Guardian Code. Which probably won't cause too much damage to Yggdrasil.
Wait, who are you?
They call me Vera.
I'm the virtual evolutionary recombinant.
She's an exchange student.
You make short work of the Hargok goons and head back to fetch Hobo Coriander.
He's gone.
You say that like it's a bad thing. Personally, my nostrils are grateful.
That's enough, Flango.
Well, considering what he has in his library, there might be some room for concern. Of course he's safe. He promised to send a little something to a certain someone.
I can't help you.
Do you know my mom?
You know him as Adam. I know him as another face on the list. His mother is an archaeologist who has been absent from his life for a good 2 years, and man, he has been worried sick about her.
Been 2 years, Adam. You gotta move on. You're messing yourself up watching these tapes all the time, making yourself believe that, well, you know.
The indoctrinated left's views on Alex Jones in a nutshell. Captain, I know why you fired me one time, so yeah, I'm looking at you.
You know, your teachers are getting worried. Mrs. Pike called about your geography essay.
Yeah, but what I wrote was true. Extraterrestrials did steal whale meat from an Inuit hunting party.
Yeah, well, you know, whatever. But you gotta move on, Adam. You know?
The indoctrinated left's views on patriotism and free speech in a nutshell. Yes, Google, I'm looking at you too.
But, you know, it's like I always say, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough gotta go.
The Hargok Empire was naturally hot on his 12-year-old trail, and his best buddy Griff doesn't believe the poor boy in the slightest.
My relationship with Jake Zuret's... ah, fuck it.
Do get sent to the shrink.
Shrink? That's crazy. Gotta admit, you've been pushing the alien stuff pretty hard lately.
I really don't want you to end up like that dipkit.
Who's that large-headed kid? I don't know.
Zap him now, sort him out later.
Chill, Flango.
The guy's name's Death. Perfect. I get a shrink named Dr. Death.
It's Death. Dr. Death.
Names on the same creep levels, so it doesn't really matter anyway.
Just don't start blabbing about aliens and you'll be okay.
You overhear their conversation as Adam heads up to meet the obvious enemy.
Don't just stand there, Adam. Come in. Sit down.
It's kind of dark in here.
Most of my patients find it relaxing. Don't you find it relaxing?
Yeah, sure.
Could be a bit brighter, though.
It's not all that unusual.
Huh? What?
Fantasy life. Most boys your age have one. Just don't let it get out of hand.
Or else you'll end up reviewing trash like the Emoji Movie or Kung Fu Dino Posse.
Try sports. That always helps.
Sports, that's it?
Yes. I favor ping pong myself.
Is that really relevant at all?
One breaking and entering offense later, Adam dials up Griff to give chase after the offenders, and you know where that trail leads.
Did you see that? Yeah, one of them's got the crystal. Hey!
They enter the keep in their spiffy new Ganth armor, and after fleeing from spiders, guess who finds them?
Well, well, well. Should have stuck to ping pong, Adam.
Hey, Adam should try his hand at ping pong at the Yggdrasil Olympics. Ooh, be sure not to get any bugs in your teeth.
Zixx comes to the rescue when there's nowhere the two dweebs could run, and naturally slam the door from behind when they make their escape before parting ways and telling them to forget what they saw.
Take my advice. Just forget everything that happened today.
Are you kidding?
Ciao, fellas. Nice saving you.
I'm feeling really depressed.
Me too. She totally blew us off.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have to visit Dr. Death again tomorrow.
I'd say that you could have used a neuralizer had you had one handy, but considering the help they'd provide as volunteer backup for at least this season, that might have been your godsend.
Heath covers his tracks like you probably would when you're caught red-handed, so the only option left is to Metal Gear it till dusk and dig into the office, but the principal catches them in the act by the time they realize the trail's been iced the ride up, so they book it before they're charged for attempted vandalism.
There's always a way out.
Look! Stop! Well, you might as well come out. That's a dead end. Very well.
Love how you added the squeak of a turning valve for setup.
For the ever subtle payoff.
The preceding joke was brought to you by men.
Men, we don't know what we did. We'll be back after this break. Don't touch that dial, for goodness sake.
I don't wanna grow up, I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't wanna grow up,
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
they got the best for so much less.
You'll really flip your lid.
Some bikes too, trains too, video games.
It's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz!
I don't wanna grow up, 'cause baby if I did,
I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid. Once a Toys R Us kid.
always a Toys R Us kid.
So yeah, these two hide up in the keep with the inventory function of their suits to leave a trail for when you inevitably save their asses a few more minutes into the episode.
This place is creepy. But man, can I ever move fast in this thing? Ah! Gotcha! Oh, thanks.
One more step, and the Dran's feather in my inventory could have been a sour-scented griff.
After they return from the keep, they promptly steal a map of the keep from the boiler room, only to be caught by Deeth and immediately indoctrinated on the Hargok Empire's history.
We're not evil. We're just good administrators. The evil ones were the Ganth.
They defeated our great leader Onkalon centuries ago.
The keep was their fortress, until they abandoned it. Now Onkalon is regenerating. Our forces are growing, and soon, all the universe will again tremble before us.
And you think you're the good guys?
Silence!
Sensing a bit of Stockholm Syndrome on you, Deeth. Has the Hargok Empire been North Korea'd into communism and had to be put down by the Ganth? Well, that's something for when you loop into the Network Academy.
Adam's gem from dear old mum turns out to be some Ganth leftovers that the Hargok were more than happy to snag whilst dropping the two boys in the acid pit for you to drop in and rescue before the acid eats through the suits.
Thanks, Griffin. And thank you,
Zixx. Zixx Phunkee Z.
Thanks, Zixx.
My partner Flango.
Perfect. Now we can all be friends.
Why do you stay in her backpack?
Because otherwise, the stinking air on your stinking planet rots my stinking lungs.
Oh, so you're intolerant to the vital carbon dioxide in our vital system. Oh, chalk one up for Al Gore. Glad we're not listening to that man-bear-pig.
Deeth goes after you, knowing all too well the damage done to the fancy telecommunications systems when your ship crashed, resulting in you being cut off from the aforementioned network.
Fortunately, there is such a thing as volunteer backup.
Hey! Deeth, over here!
Crystal base. Now way out. Keycard. Yes! A crystal! No!
And the rest, as they say, is history.
And so have the Ganth, who had moved on and become glowy and shit, taking all their instruction manuals and tech with them, leaving only what's ever in the keep.
So what do we do next?
You go home and forget any of this ever happened.
No way!
I'll admit you got lucky, but that's not gonna happen again. Do you want to be gawk food?
No, but...
No bets. Forget it. It's over. Bye.
Bye-bye.
So that's it? It's over? Not quite.
Conclusion.
Where to begin? While the environments are distinctly alien in nature, the character designs for the Ganth armors all fit with the theming, and you get a decent setup for the 3 seasons that follow in this episode's footsteps. It's not as good as an obscure title like Kamiki Momo, but not as terrible as Kung Fu Dino Posse's BDFF. And in spite of the vastly inferior rendering engine, I could actually relate to the characters when they're in the keep, instead of being distracted by the not-there fairies in Fairly Odd Summer. All in all, they've done a relatively decent job into this particular footprint of your mission, bringing allusions to a hidden depth to the Hargok, but the animation's pretty clunky. Acting makes up for it somewhat, making it a relatively decent show to watch when you're in the hub.
Well, that was fun. Guess I should go to the Digital Olympics and see how the coding of that universe is doing. Catch y'all on the flip side, folks. Good fight, good night, and stay frosty.
MP4 Ors? What even is this? Can't even find a hint of it or its production house on Wikipedia, and IMDb's got little dirt on this project to begin with. And yet, here I am looking into it because Tumblr said so. Why, though? Wait, Mad Mike's behind this? Guess I'm gonna make this one Mainframe Month. Get ready, buddy. New target acquired! MP4 Ors, Episode 1, Polar Invasion. Not sure if I said it right, but who the hell cares about this tripe? Into the brains!